So have you ever wondered what you could do with all that excess heat generated in a compost pile? I wonder about that kind of stuff, and I got some ideas. So here we go. So welcome to my compost pile. Have you ever thought about cooking in your compost pile? Well, I have, and here's why. I got inspired on a trip many years ago to the West Bank of Palestine, and in the markets of Bethlehem, the farmers sold hard-cooked eggs in troughs of steaming hot chicken manure. And of course, as a composter, light bulbs went off. And last summer, when my dear Palestinian friend Vivian Sansour was here visiting, we tried it and we cooked some eggs in these compost piles and they worked perfectly. That's another video. Because now my imagination has gone a little bit further and I'm going to cook a beef roast in this compost pile. It's been all thawed, seared, wrapped in foil. And as you can see, my pot, well, you can't see, but you will. My pile interior core, 18 inches in, based on a thermometer, is 160 degrees, which is perfect temperature for cooking meat. So hold tight, and we're going to do this. Okay, so the way this is going to work is I'm going to put one thermometer in the meat, load it into the hole. This piece of wood is really just to protect the meat, so when I go to dig it up, I don't hit the meat. I'm going to throw a little bit of this hot material on top. Whoops, so much for my tea. And then the second thermometer is literally just going to be down there next to the meat, kind of in the chamber, so I know what my kind of cooking chamber temperature is outside of the meat. So we're going to bury it up to these two thermometers. Sound good? Already you can see, I'll show you these with a picture, but the internal temperature of the meat is about 75, which would make sense. I just pulled it out of the fridge and seared it. And my cooking chamber is crawling up past 150 right now. It'll get to 160 once I bury it all back in. Okay, so it has been about 6 hours now since we put the roast in the compost pile. The roast is at about 152 degrees, which actually is a little warmer than I wanted it. I would have liked it like closer to about 150, 148, but hey, it's a compost pile. So I'm going to dig it out and then we're going to check it out. So out with the thermometers and in we go. This is really hot material. It's really hot in the hands, but here we go. And there's our roast. Let's take this up to the kitchen and see how it worked. So here we are in the kitchen, and I've double checked my temp and we're all set, so I'm gonna slice into this thing. So here we go. I had it double or triple wrapped, so let's see what this is gonna look like. Look at that. The cool thing is that because this cooks with conduction instead of convection, it's solid, surrounded by hot material instead of just hot air. You'll notice it cooks evenly throughout, so it's nicely kind of pink, medium, but from edge to edge, not just red in the center. So this is one really cool thing about cooking in a compost pile. So bon appetit.